Hey, how's it going? We're back. How's it going, Cubus? Yesterday we tried to apply rotations to our tile maps to simulate like a camera movement. We accidentally implemented reflections because I forgot how simple 90-degree vector rotations work, because of course I did. But I remember. I remember now, so we're gonna swap our reflections for actual rotations. I've also been thinking about adding C# to this project now that we've kind of split, or now that we're heading towards splitting our game data from our rendering data, and we're like most of the way there. Very tempted to just make a hard break between the two and do all the gameplay state in C# and all the rendering in Godot proper here. Still thinking about that. We're a ways away from that, but thinking about it. I was bugging Sorcery Story about it yesterday, asking questions. Because they do that. They do exactly that. I'm sure there's some other people that do it as well. It seems like the goal with that is to just minimize the amount of communication between the Godot API and the stuff that doesn't need it. Stuff that doesn't actually need to interface with the engine, because that's where the cost is, you know, with the marshalling and everything. Okay, so I think what we need is like a utility script for this. So we can make something down here like static func what I want to call it. I could call it review, but that's really stupid. Should probably just call it like rotate tiles. Rotate tile view. I guess it could just be rotate tile. So it would take a vector 3 and it would return a vector 3, I of course. Vector, well, we'll call this coords. Call this direction. Say return vector 3. So this depends on, let's say, variable. rotation, rotated. Say vector. Our variable vector. Vector 3i. Do we want to feed it the raw directions, or do we want to make it like an enumerator or something? I kind of want to just feed the raw directions. Oh, we don't really need to. We just kind of need a shorthand for it. Let's say just return vector for now, just so that this stops yelling at me. Because the thing we're thinking about is that the whole scene might move. Like if the camera turns, like if the player is like, I want to rotate the camera 90 degrees clockwise or something like that. Let's say that. That's one kind of turn. The other kind of turn is if a ship turns. So like the game board doesn't change, but a ship within the board specifically turns by itself. So that's different. But it's also not different. It's just a matter of scope, I guess. So there will be like a global value, which is like the view direction, and then there will be like a lower level value, which is like the ship direction. We don't have to worry about the ship direction right now, so let's just focus on the view direction. Put that here for now. I called it camera position here. I want to call it view direction. Maybe viewing direction. Or do I just call it view dir? View dir. I'll call it viewing direction until it seems like it's too long. Now, I know I should have done this before I started the stream, but I need to be right back. I forgot something. Excuse me. I'll be back in just a couple minutes here. All right, sorry about that. Thanks for waiting. I'll be back. All right. All right, let's make an enum view. Make it like you could call it something else. You could call it like rotation. Let's just call it view. And we're gonna call it we're gonna say 0 degrees, something like that. 0 degrees. Say 90 CW, 90 clockwise. Say 180. Say 90 CCW. Those are our four camera angles. 0 degrees, 90 clockwise, 180, or 90 counterclockwise. Call this enum turn, because it says like no turn, 90 clockwise turn, 180 turn. And then so we're going to basically say match turn, So for 0 degrees, it'll be vector equals 3i coords, or vector just equals coords. Actually, we don't need to define this vector. I don't know what I'm saying. If I don't define every case, maybe it'll complain. Maybe we didn't need to do it this way. Vector equals coords, that's fine. Turn dot 0 degrees. Turn dot 90 clockwise. So for a 90-degree clockwise turn, it's you swap the y with the x, and you make one of them negative. Which one, though? I forgot again. 90 degrees. Okay, yeah, it is 90 degrees to the x coordinate, which is in the position of y. Okay. Coords.z. Earn dot 180. In that case, vector is swap both of them and make them both negative. All right, so that'll give us our turn. That'll rotate our tile about the origin based on whatever our current turn is. Right, so we get rid of this. So here, instead of this, we say ship hull.viewing direction is 0. Why am I doing that? All right, so here we go. Mapped chords is util.turn. So for this, we just say mapped chords is util.turn mapped chords by viewing direction. Oh, it's not util. It's util.rotate tile. Call it twist tile. I don't know. That's maybe the wrong idea. Where else do we declare camera twist? Down here. So if camera position changed, hip haul dot camera position changed, we just send them the viewing direction. Window Flatus. Reporting fresh out of sauna. Ooh, that sounds nice. I mean, it doesn't sound nice for me. We just got out of our hottest 2 weeks of the year. It was like last weekend and the couple weeks before that. But I know the rest of the world is already well on its way to the cold times. Winter is coming. That sounds nice. Flatus. Shipbuilder of yours is hugely complicated. Appreciate it. Yeah, have you seen... Oh, I probably need to fix some things first here. We've got the auto tiler working for floors, walls, and doors. Both single and double doors. It's really fancy. We're trying to add in rotation. And I'm midway through fixing that. Is this not the hull stack? Yeah, it is. Okay, viewdir is a util.turn. You lurked? Nice, okay. Yeah, the turn was pretty easy to implement in theory. We just accidentally did a reflection instead of a rotation, so we're just fixing it now to actually be a rotation and not just a reflection. All right, so the rest of this is fine. What do we need to do is we need to get down. We need to get down to the layers here. Yeah, there's going to be a lot here to fix. Okay, there's an interesting question here. Some of these, we're looking for the actual... We're not looking for the relative coordinate, like, based on how the ship actually is, like the canonical direction of the ship in the tile map. We're looking for how it appears. So that'll be different. So, like, here we're getting positive x, positive y, negative y. We want these coordinates as they appear, not as they are. I'm pretty sure. However, this relative coords thing, this we do need. So the relative coordinates is not going to be this. It's going to be util.turn, not turn, rotate tile, absolute chords by ship hull dot view direction. That's not quite right. But for now, we don't really distinguish. Because there's only one ship, there's no reason to be distinguishing between the camera's view and the ship's direction. Mirror sounds useful feature for symmetrical stuff like the USS Enterprise rear thingies. Yeah. Yeah, I think there could be some use for doing a reflection in some cases, but Not for what we're trying to accomplish here. So for this, this is absolute coordinates. So it's the op block, I think, that we need to rotate. No, it's not. It's not the op block. We want how it actually appears. So maybe we just define the relative coordinates first and go by that. I have to think about this. I'm going to fix the other stuff and then come back to that. Ship hull dot compartments has... Okay, no, here, it's the same problem. I need to think about that for a minute. All right, absolute coordinates. This should be easy. Oh wait, how do I get something back from its turn? We need the opposite of this. We need to be able to undo this. Maybe we say that we call this like... Maybe we say this get relative tile. Get relative coords. We have another function that's get absolute coords. But yeah, Flatus, I'm blown away by your Civ-like. It's so cool. So we need to do the opposite of whatever we did here. So if we plugged in the X, we need to plug it back into the Y and make it negative. For 180. We keep it the negative, we just plug everything back into the right place. Same here, we put this back here. That should undo whatever we did here. Yeah. Our only issue with this is we just need to be very careful about tracking whether we're dealing with the absolute coordinates or the relative coordinates. Hey, Fody. Things starting to turn around. Yeah, we got reflections yesterday on accident, and we're making it rotations today. Which is a little complicated, but we're doing it. I kind of want to do the walls and the floors first. I want to do something easier to start. Let's do the walls first. So the relative coordinate is utility dot get relative coords, absolute coords, ship hull dot view direction. All right, but when I'm doing this, when I'm getting the opposite coordinates, we want the relative opposite coordinates. But we're interfacing with the tile. Hey, Prismatic Queen, thank you for the follow. Loving these new sound alerts. We're in the midst of a bit of a refactor, otherwise I'd show you what we've got going on here. So I want to go from the absolute chord. Oh no, I can keep this all absolute. No. So I need what's relatively in front of the absolute coordinate. That's kind of a mess. Would it be easiest to just do the calculation as a relative coordinate? Just say relative chords plus op block dimension and then transform all of that into the absolute coordinate? That's probably the way to do that. This music's a little loud, let me know. It feels a little loud to me. Might just be this song. This song titled Bongs and Lo-Fi. I have a whole new sound mix, so I'm still figuring it out. So I could implement those sound alerts. I like split all of my audio and outputs apart. You don't even pretend to keep up with the logics of this. That's fair. That's part of why I like solo dev, is I have no communication bandwidth issues. Like, I don't have to explain anything of what I'm doing, really. So let's say relative chords plus the op block of the dimension. The op chords are like, so if we're calculating this face, the opposite chords are the block that occupies this face, the face that's like mooshed against it. That's a technical term, mooshed. Can we really do it like this? Can we just do relative chords and then do util.get absolute chords and then plug this in? Will that work? shiphall.viewdir. We can actually get rid of all of this branch. We can actually just do this. We can say... Can we say this? Get rid of all of this. Because we don't actually care about the dimensionality of it now. The system should handle that. If so, that's really nice. What about this part? What is this doing? So we've got our op chords. Is it trademarked yet? Which part? The game? The game doesn't even have like a real title. The game was originally called Digital Iliad, but then Digital Iliad's kind of become my brand. Oh, Smooshed. Smooshed, right. No. I feel like someone would argue prior work. But yeah, I don't know what to call this game, honestly. It'd be weird to do a self-titled album. Bands do it all the time where you have like a band and then they have an album and it's just their self-titled album, but I feel like game studios don't do that. Like, it'd be weird for me to be Digital Iliad and for me to make a game called Digital Iliad. So I've kind of co-opted my own name here, which is unfortunate. All right, so if op block and block comp door is door. So if this is a door, and if the door axis... Oh, we're picking the door axis, okay. Oh, so we're checking the whole compartment. Okay, I get it. I get it now. I get what we're doing. So if shiphall.compartments.has, so these are the opposite chords plus the opposite block of the door axis compartments. So this is already an absolute. This is already an absolute space, so that's fine. I don't love calling it absolute space. I should probably call it like canonical space or something like that. It's basically space that has no rotation, which is where all of the gameplay logic sits. Like, the gameplay does not really care how the tile map is rotated. It can just handle itself. It cares to the extent to which, like, maybe something is like beside it and like turned away or something like that, but that doesn't really matter. For an individual ship, it doesn't really care about its own rotation. It can do everything in absolute space. But for rendering, we need to convert stuff into relative space. This looks like it is probably good. All right. This might actually be a really easy refactor. So absolute chords is going to be util.get absolute chords from relative chords. And op chords is similarly going to be util.get absolute chords relative chords plus op block dimension. Should maybe rename this from op block to something like opvec or something like that. Because we're not getting the block, this is just a vector. Well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Ship hull dot view dire. So we're getting the absolute coordinates because opposite blocks always done in absolutes here. Yeah, that should be fine. Dilatigid the okay. Famous words for a 16 hours bug hunt. We haven't been hunting bugs. To be fair, what we did yesterday worked. It's just not what we wanted. Yeah, I don't know how you made it. I don't know how. Yeah, Digital Iliad, the game. Yeah, that's what you did there was very hard to read. It's like if I wanted to make my name even harder to pronounce, I should just write it down backwards. Digital Iliad spelled backwards is like somehow even harder to parse. Dilatigid. The EMAG. Yeah, that's funny. That would look great as an album cover. Digital Iliad, Dilatigid. Nice mirror. Get a nice mirror going there. Okay, I am very suspicious in that that's all we needed to do. Let's do the floor next. So we need to define the relative coordinates before the opposite coordinates when doing this. I got a mouse that has like a horizontal scroll wheel on it. It's so good. I'm so happy. All right, so we want to get the positive x and the positive y neighbors specifically. So I think what we said is the easiest way to do that is to make it util.get absolute coords and to do relative coords plus this. All dot u direction. All right, that's theoretically all that we need to do here. All right, just the door layer is left. And I think I understand how to do that. I'm just gonna copy this because I'm gonna need this. So much of doing this kind of stuff is just transforming things into one space and then transforming it back. Just like relatively easy. But you gotta keep it all straight. So this is minus. This is Y. This is minus Y. Tell me why. Why is this not working? Relative chords not declared. I see. Well, let's fix that. Anywhere else we use relative coordinates? All of here? Everywhere in here? Okay. Let's say, oh, we have relative coordinates. Let's just... util dot get relative coordinates, absolute coordinates, ship hole dot viewing direction. That's it. Well, you just need to put that up here so we can use it. All right, last couple of lines here, and then a moment of truth. We see how this all is not working. We try to figure out why. All right, I'm fairly certain. Did I like zoom in on accident somehow? Yeah, I did. There we go. think I'm ready for like an external IDE. I've been enjoying using like just Godot for everything, but the code base is starting to get a little big to just be looking at in here. If we end up adding C# to this, we'll end up putting writer back in here. We'll end up using writer most of the time probably. All right, moment of truth. Crash. Yeah, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, yeah, that's not the name of the function anymore. Now it's get relative coords. Stop trying to save stuff when you're hot, when you're like in the middle of a game run, Dave. Here we go. So far it's rendering. Let's draw something and then try to turn the camera. I'm gonna be blown away if it just takes us 2 days to do this. All right, so we have sides, short and long sides with single doors and short and long sides with double doors. So if I turn clockwise, the double doors should now, one of the double doors should be here. And the long side, the length of this room should be this way. Let's see what happens. Almost. We almost got there. It's not quite working. The 180-degree thing is wrong. All right, we got ads in 1 minute. But it's working under zero turn. So yeah, so there's something about... It's weird that the X seems to be working. Well, it's not really. It's not working over here. I think we can figure that out. All right. We'll take a few minute break so I can finish my breakfast and we'll watch the ads. And then we'll tackle this. It's doing this part right though. It's doing like this part's wrong. So the 180 degrees is wrong and some of the auto tiling is wrong. FTL, yes. Suicidal MFs. Yeah, FTL faster than light. We're working on like a isometric 2D version of FTL. And we've got an auto tiler system that works decent. So we can draw out ships, make compartments. So like the light gray is an inner compartment of the ship. The outer gray is like the outer hull. We can draw doors, single, double doors. So we've got a nice auto tiler system that handles the outlining and everything for us. We're trying to add camera rotation, which is kind of insane. And we're running into a couple of issues. But we're making a tool here so that I can build little 3D FTL style ships. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're on our way. We really just have a tool more than we have a game at the moment, but when you're doing something that's big like this, you really need the tools, I think. All right, so I love how the Twitch is like, your ads are starting and then we have to wait. Okay, here they are. 3 minutes of ads. I'll be right back. And then we'll tackle these bugs and welcome in suicidal MS. All right, we're back. Thanks for hanging out. All right, first thing is fix the 180 degree turn, which we did. No, this is supposed to be right. Negative X, negative Y. Oh. Ah. I flipped them. So it's right here, but the relative one is flipped incorrectly. We don't invert them. We just do that. We just negate them. One thing I'm concerned about is I don't think you can just turn a relative coordinate. I think you have to, like, go from ABS to relative. I don't think you can take a relative coordinates and then get relative coordinates again. So I might need to rename this to make that a little more clear. Or, I mean, I'm the only person using them, so maybe we don't care. So the auto tiling is still going to be wrong, but what I'm looking for now is just that the shape is correct. So I'm going to just do this real quick. So turn that. That. Okay, so it's we're rotating around now correctly. Oh, and the 180 works correctly. Look at that. So we're only running into issues when we're dealing with 90-degree turns. And the Z obviously... Well, no, the Z doesn't totally work, does it? Even the Z faces are going a little wrong. Fascinating. Okay, but not 0 and 180 degrees works, but we're having some issues with our 90-degree turns. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look at where the shadow is. Well, for one thing, this thing I'm doing with mapped coordinates wrong. Let's get that out of there. I'm gonna draw right at the edge and see what happens. I'm expecting to get something that's also right at the edge. If not, I'm a little concerned. Okay, you're right at the edge, you're right at the edge. Okay, so it is rotating about the origin correctly. So when we're doing this, there's something off. Oh, okay, so this is a bit wrong. Yeah, look at this. If I get it to draw here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we're confusing two different forms of space here, or two different, you know, relative space and absolute space is mixing somewhere in the auto tiler unintentionally here. We also, I guess we do need to translate the mapped coordinates, so why wasn't that working? If I draw something, doesn't really matter what. Okay, that's still wrong. Oh, at 180 it's right. But in all of these it's wrong. Interesting. So it's 0 and 180, everything is good. Everything is great. But at 90 clockwise and 90 counterclockwise, we're running into some issues. Maybe it's get absolute coordinates? I don't know. Oh, that's still not right. We'll have to fix that. So why is that not behaving the way I'm expecting it to? Getting relative chords should be the correct function call here, because our mouse chords are absolute. Oh, no, they aren't. They're not absolute. Mouse chords should be relative to start. So like if I mouse over here, I'm here. But if I turn everything, let's draw something so I can watch the turn. But if I turn everything 90 degrees, I expect my mouse to continue to be here. Yeah, there's something fishy going on here. Let's try to fix the auto tiler first, and then we can fix the mouse cursor. Hey, iHeart Pandas. How's it going? Oh, I think I know what I did. I think we're not translating back to absolute correctly. Yeah. That might actually just be it. Let's see if that's it. Let's draw something. It's going. Same stuff, new day. It's going pretty good for me. We're pretty close to being able to rotate the game board arbitrarily, like for 90 degrees here. All right. Draw some doors. And we'll rotate 90. Oh, shit. Rotate 90. Rotate 90. We got it. I think it's going backwards from what I'm expecting it to, but that's something we just flip. So if I am rotating... No, it's correct. This is clockwise. So I'm rotating my view clockwise. I expect that. If I rotate my view clockwise again, I expect that. Hell yeah. This is not easy, but we did it. Pure luck, you say? The thing that's concerning to me is this mouse cursor thing. I'm not totally sure how to get that to do what I want. It works correctly under 180 and 0. It's because the mouse cursor position is a relative position, but I need to pass the instructions as absolutes. So I need to probably add some additional little stuff here. Yeah. The mouse needs to be fixed. The mouse should be relatively easy. So the mouse is a relative coordinate, so that shouldn't matter. Let's just say get absolute coordinates. All right, I fixed the mouse. That was easy. Yeah, the mouse begins life as relative coordinates and just needs to become absolute. So now, as I rotate everything around, the mouse stays the same. Beautiful. Wow. I budgeted a whole week for this and we did it in 2 days. Tom App rotation in 2 days. Let's go. I'm gonna make this asymmetrical so that I can better see this and make sure that it's working correctly. Hell yeah. That's so awesome. And I can just keep drawing in a mirrored mode and like nobody cares. Rock and roll. Thing I'm a little more concerned is about getting the nodes to do this correctly. But that shouldn't be that. Oh, I spot a bug. I spot one little issue here. There's an issue where when the wall has a door next to it, it's picking the wrong tile. Okay, so we got one bug. That's fine. I've addressed this bug before. I don't know why it's come back up. I probably messed around with something. Now add an animation of the thing rotating? Never. That's insane. You're insane, sir. I'm very excited by that. That's great. So let's fix that bug. Which is good, because I need to think about what we're going to do next. This is in the door layer. No, it's in the wall layer. So this is for this. So if dimension is not Z, okay, so if the opposite block is a door, if shiphall.compartment0 has this, I missed this. So this needs to be util.opcoords. So the opcoords is a relative coordinate. So I need to, so this one is a little silly. I might need to think about a better way to do this. So we need util.relative.get relative chords. We do that, and then we need to util.get absolute chords. So we need to put this in absolute term or in relative terms, do the calculation, and then get back into absolute terms. There's probably a better way to do that. Op chords is already in absolute terms, so that's fine. It's just this one where we get the op chords plus the opposite block. Because we're trying to figure out the type of the door, the hull type of the door that we're next to get that simulated correctly. So let's see if that works now. It should. Yeah. Cool. We're getting the right tile drawing now in every case. Fuck yeah. It's dancing. All right, well, that's done. So what do we want to do now? Getting an itch to refactor some of this stuff. I guess we'll refactor a lot of it. If we end up adding C# to this project, we'll pull out a lot of stuff. Like the space partitioner and things like that. Things that just exist in game state. Hey, you know, how's it going? Did you see? Did you see? You see what we have done? Got rotation. Only took 2 days. Very pleased. Yeah. It's because I knew this was coming, so I did put some effort into designing the system in such a way that we should be able to do that. I think I want to rename this from get absolute coordinates to like rel to absolute. because that's better at saying, you know, you can only go from one to the other. ABS to relative, because if you pass a relative coordinates to one of these again, like if you try to get relative coordinates twice, you will like bungle everything. So let's do a mass replace. Fine. Everything that have to do with graphics takes a lot longer. Yeah. I mean, our stuff is fast. It's gonna be easy. It's gonna be fast. As soon as we get, because right now, any ship that exists will need like the starship with the hull stack, with the deck levels. Like, it'll need all this stuff, but that's not how we want to do this. We want to have it just be like only one ship in focus that has all this stuff. And then everything else is just being simulated in pure game state. So we're going to head in a direction where the Godot engine is really just the renderer for us as far as like the node, the scene tree. The scene tree is just going to be like what you can see. And everything else is kind of just going to be off in game state land. I just need to research more how to do that. I haven't had to do that in a Godot before, but I've been asking questions from those that know, so I think we'll get there. Yesterday you were watching a reel about an isometric game that is really a 3D game and was going to share it with me. That is the way to do this. If you're going to do this any other way, actually that should probably be the default way to do this, is to do it in 3D. I considered doing that. I did explore doing that. I just can't make 3D art, and I really liked the crispness of our 2D pixel art aesthetic. But you can still have 2D pixel art in a 3D game. I just didn't want to do that either. And we found a way. Took a while, but we found it. Yawn. Excuse me. I'm a little tired. I've not been sleeping enough. All right, let's look at trying to fix some of the stuff we broke. Kind of want to turn on a build mode button that like switches between our cutaway tool and the build tool. Because I don't think that we can really make the cutaway system work. Actually, maybe we can. Maybe we can make the cutaway system work with the builder system. Because it eliminates everything before the mouse cursor. But the mouse cursor is what you're building on. So it might be weird if you try to drag and build something this way, because it'll actually hide what you're doing as you try to do it. So maybe there's an exception where we like pause the cutaway system while you're dragging like this, just to prevent something like that from happening. That's so awesome. The only other person I know that is doing this in isometric 2D like this is literally rendering all 4 of these states and just makes the tile map visible or invisible depending on which position the camera is facing. But we're redrawing the tile map every time. And honestly, if these were handmade, I guess doing it once 4 times and then being done with it is fine, especially if you have a tool to handle the reflection. It doesn't really matter. And who knows, this might actually end up being the more expensive way to do it no matter what, but I don't care. It's too cool. So what's next? I know, that's what I'm thinking about. Getting the cutaway system to work again would be pretty good. So we broke a number of systems when we did our last refactor. Not our last refactor, but you know, when we refactored to tile map layers, we never... Oh no, it wasn't tile map layers. It was when we split each layer type into 3 layers, when we had like 3 layers for the floor, 3 layers for the wall. We broke a couple of things. We broke our save system, our snapshot system. We broke that. And that handles our saving and loading as well as our, undo redo. So we could fix that, but if I am serious about making this in C#, saving and loading would be handled in game state. So that actually would become a C# thing. So maybe I don't want to refactor this right now because I'll just end up rewriting it anyway. So that's broken, and then the cutaway system is broken. So maybe we do the cutaway system because the cutaway is a pure rendering function, and that will stay in GDScript land no matter what we do. So maybe we do that. Where does the cutaway system live nowadays? I think it lives in hull layer largely. Yeah, here it is. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm kind of just going to look over it. I got to go in less than 30 minutes. So I don't know if we're going to try rewriting it today, but I want to remember how it all works. It should be fine. It should actually be almost plug and play at this point. Like, let's try to turn it on and see if it works. Where do I turn it on from? Is the question. So where is the... Okay, use tile data runtime update is there. There's one more script here. There's a function here that we're not using. There's the actual tile data runtime update function. Where is that? Is that per... Is that per type? Ah, it's here. Tile data runtime update. Oh, because we only do this for walls right now. Right. And I think we were doing it for doors. Yeah, we were doing it for doors with a transparency, but not for floors. Do we have that? here? No, that doesn't matter. Okay, so this might actually be plug and play still. I don't know if we've fundamentally changed the way that this works to the extent to which the cutaway system won't work anymore. I just don't remember where the hook into it is. Yeah, flood fill we'll rewrite in C#. Saving and loading stuff we'd rewrite in C#. The building tools we would rewrite in C#. We'd really just do rendering and input-output in Godot land. And the rendering would be one way, so the game state would flow from the game state data. The game data would flow to the rendering data one way, because the game data doesn't care about the rendering data. Input IO stuff, the IO input stuff would be one way from Godot to game state, maybe. Actually, maybe the input system. No, yeah, that's one way that way. Yeah, this could be pretty clean. We could break this pretty cleanly. So how do we turn back on cutaway system? Built this whole system and I don't remember where the entry point is for it. Cutaway tiles. Deck level? Maybe it's the deck level does it? Process. Oh, it's right here. Found it. So we would say you'd say if block type and block comp dot bulk is that, or layer dot block type and block dot comp dot door. I'm trying to set it up so that a block can have more than one. Like a block, there's gonna be a block composition. So you can read comp as composition or component or whatever you want to read it as. So a block is the 3D space, and a block might contain a floor and a wall, a floor and a door, or maybe just a wall, which we're calling bulk. Because it might not be a wall, it might just be a bulk. It might just be like a piece. So there's bulk, deck, and door at the moment. The deck is the floor. The bulk is like wall segments or other large chunks. And doors are obviously doors. So if for a bulk or a door, let's do this. Let's do it. Yeah, decoration. There will be decoration. We will eventually want a cutaway decoration. You're right. Yeah. We actually might need multiple decoration layers. I've been thinking about that. I'm not sure how we're going to handle that. But if we're lucky, we'll be able to just have a single deco layer. It's a little tricky. But yeah, you could definitely have decoration in a block. And that will matter. You love FTL. How's your game looking like? I'll let you know. Right here. Let me hide that again so we don't accidentally do something that's terrible. This is the artistic style we're going for. We're going for an isometric 2D look, like classic Star Trek kind of isometric 2D look. And then what we've got going so far is we've built a pretty complex auto tiling tool that lets us build across 6 layers. And so we can let's build like a ceiling. Let's throw up some walls. I made the walls too big. Let's bring the walls in. So we've got a space partitioner that lets us tell whether a space is outside or inside. So you can see that if I break this, it thinks that right now it thinks that we're inside, but if I punch a hole in it, it acknowledges that we're outside. So we've got this whole auto tiler system and a space compartmentalizer, so we can do the FTL style like atmospherics, like you can tell whether you have a closed compartment or not. And then this week, we've just done tile rotation, so the ships will be able to turn. which I think is pretty wild. So add some asymmetry there so it's easier to tell. Love the style. Thank you. It's yeah, it's not pure isometric. It's actually like a more side on than a traditional isometric. So it's 4 pixels over and then 1 down. Whereas traditional pixel art isometric is 2 horizontal tiles for every vertical tile. This is 4:1 instead of 2:1. So it's more of a side on view. So that introduces a visibility issue. Which is it's kind of hard to see past the walls. You lose a lot. So we also have a cutaway system, and that's what we're trying to re-enable right now that we've got a lot of this back on here. Trying to turn the cutaway system back on. Yeah, dimetric, you know. Is that an I or an L at the beginning of your name? Is it Leandrosk or Yeandrosk? Guessing it's an L because you don't have any capitals in your name anywhere. But thank you for Leandro SQ. Okay, thank you. Phonetics gets tough. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Oh, and on the YouTube side of things, hey, Cutout Clips. Is this just for designing internal ship layouts, or will it include the exterior of the ship? It will include the exterior of the ship. I just haven't. I haven't drawn any exterior components, but that actually is close to the top of my list because you don't want just these flat boxes, right? You want curves and things like that, or at least angular bits. So right now we've only got the stuff to do this, but I'm gonna start adding. This is like the building block, a single block here, which actually is 3 tile map layers, or 6 depending on how you're counting. Because we have floors and walls and stuff. So yeah, I need to add some curved pieces. Because yeah, it would be kind of lame if all you've got here is just like these various stacks of boxes like this. Like that's not appealing. So yeah, I need to add a lot more aesthetic choices. I also need some external modules like engines, weapons, things like that. Things that stick out of the ship. All we have now are airlocks. That's all we've really got. You can make a Borg ship right now. Maybe an NG looking ship also, but that's about it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's not bad. But yeah, we're pretty limited otherwise. So yeah, that's high on my priority list. I honestly haven't done a lot of art except inorganic stuff like doors and everything lately. So I really want to add a lot more aesthetic variety to these designs. So yeah, that's high on the list. Let's uncomment this code and see the way in which this breaks here. One way I can tell it's probably going to break is it probably doesn't know about relative coordinates. So let me look at the hull layer. So if tilecell.x is greater than startpoint.x, tilecell.x, tilecell in get used cells. Oh, in get used cells. Oh, so this operates just on the tile map itself. So this actually doesn't need to know about absolute or relative tile coordinates. This might just work. This might just continue to work. I would be shocked. So let's do this, and then let's draw some walls, and then let's, oh shit. Oh, no, it doesn't totally work. Why doesn't it totally work? Oh, was it not written to handle negative tile coordinates? It looks like not. It looks like the answer is not. Okay, that's fine. Oh, we actually also need, right now it's just modulating. It's just hiding the tile cell. So we actually don't want it to do that. We actually want it to redraw with the correct... Oh, no, I guess we do want it to do this. Huh, I gotta think about that. Because if we have it redraw, it won't do anything differently. I might need to change some rules. Okay, so it almost works. What if we change it? Okay, so if we rotate it, it still works. It just seems to not go past 0. Seems not able to go past 0. So that's fine. We can deal with that. But it does let us peer behind here, and this seemingly still works. It does break, like I said, if we try to drag this way, but if we drag this way, it works pretty fine. It's a little touchy. It's making like tiles disappear in some weird edge cases, but looks cool though. Yeah, thank you. Leandros, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Okay. But yeah, this is what I wanted to achieve. Like, you can see the dark lines. That shows you that that's just a collapsed wall. If I put a door here, you can still see the door. I don't know if I love that. I kind of want to do it differently than that. But I feel like knowing the door state is pretty important, so I still want to do something. I might switch the door to an outline-only version, where you can see the outline of the door, like in black or something like that, so you can see what state it's in. I don't know. I'm not happy with this, though. Just this, like, half-transparency thing. Figure it out. Alright, so why doesn't it work past 0? Tilecell.x is greater than start point. Yeah, sure. And tilecell.x is less than startpoint.x plus 8. Less than startpoint.x plus 8. I wrote this so long ago, I don't remember how any of it works, but that's fine. We're just trying to refamiliarize ourselves with this system. I do think I wrote it in an age where the tile map didn't have 0 in the center. It had 0 in the upper corner. Where are all these errors? PLM root is true. What does that even mean? At core templates C++ add. What even is this? I don't know what that is. I'm gonna ignore it. Do you do any game dev, Leandro? Or cut out clips if you're here. I like hearing about people's projects. I'm always trying to check in. If anyone has any project updates, please let me know. PLM is that thing in your throat when you're sick. Hey, Tuna Nerds. How's it going? How's the prep working? We got a tile map. We got tile map rotation working. And we're trying to re-enable our cutaway system, which is a little broken. Redraws the tile map every time we turn. Yeah. It feels good. It took 2 days just to do that part. Yeah, I must be doing something that is causing it to some alarm. Like, watch, if I comment out that part, I bet this goes away. Oh, we're operating on the mouse coordinates. Oh, we're independently grabbing the mouse coordinates. We should not be doing that. Oh, maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. I bet this thing goes away. Yeah. Yeah, so we aren't getting... So whatever I'm doing in the cutaway system is making something very angry. Curious. Curious. Yeah, like I was saying, if anyone feels like sharing their projects, feel free to join the Discord. You're gonna have some dinner soon and join you in the game, Devin. Hell yeah. I gotta get to work. My day job starts in about 10 minutes. So there's some issues with this cutaway system, but that's fine. This cutaway system is so old. I'm kind of shocked that it even basically works with our current system. So since we finished the rotation stuff early, I guess we just go back to fixing this cutaway system. Yours ends in 10 minutes? Oh, we're like 2 ships passing the night. That's too funny. I am trying to change my work schedule so that I have more time for the game and a longer contiguous block of time to stream. I would like my streams to be more like 3 to 4 hours instead of like just under 2. So hopefully I can change my schedule up in the next month or so. Still working on it. Yeah. Okay, I need to figure out how to support negative numbers in the tile cutaway system. That's the thing that's limiting me. The fact that I can't do that. But I see why I had the upper corner be 0. I could go back to doing that, honestly. That wouldn't be the worst. But these have a center tile, so I like the center tile to be 0. And the rotation part is a lot easier if 0 is the center. So I think that trumps the desire to have the center be the back corner to make the cutaway system easier. That's fine though. So the back edges are negative. So we really just need to check to see if the tile cell coordinates are greater than. I think I know what's going wrong. Let's just get rid of this part for a second. See what happens. Oh, I commented something out still. Does it work now? No. Okay. Still doesn't work. Oh, where are we defining start point? Maybe I have some old values that are wrong. Back bounds is a rect2i. Oh, I have to look into how this whole thing works. Child.layer bounds. What are the layer bounds? Layer bounds. Layer bounds is get used rect. Oh. Okay. Oh, I might be messing this up. No, that should be fine. End minus position plus. Okay, yeah, I think all the calculations I'm doing assume we go from 0 to some max, and we go from a negative number to a maximum number. So tomorrow we'll just fix that. We'll fix all of this tomorrow, and we'll have our cutaway system back working. And we'll keep thinking about how we're going to split off our game state stuff into a pure like C# implementation. That's exciting. I gotta wrap it up now. This has been awesome. It's been a great day. Very productive. We got rotation. I'm very happy with that. I gotta look up what add condition p element root copy error. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, 200 nerds. Good luck getting ready yourselves. You're gonna be in Next Fest, right? That's in what, like 5 days? Yes, sir. All right. Well, good luck to you as well. That's exciting times. Monday. You got it. You got this. All right. Thanks for everyone hanging out. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And so yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.